Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426. Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851-2109.
Well, congratulations, Jomel. Congratulations to you, to the captain, the coach, the backroom staff, the team. And I would say, I know for the first test you had one or two supporters from the Caribbean. I don't know what happened for the second test, but congratulations to all concerned in playing some role in what was a truly remarkable cricketing event, a victory for the West Indies, first time in almost 35 years in Pakistan. What has been the mood like in the camp? What's the mood been like in the camp since then?
Well, the mood is fantastic. Everyone is happy. The guys we are bubbling together. We even celebrate yesterday in the team room and saw the guys eating and having a good time and having laughter. And the fellas was in a very good spirit as well. So I must say it was a outstanding feeling, special feeling, especially losing the first game and coming back and winning in such a commanding way as well. That made the victory even more special.
Have you guys fully, may seem a strange question, but have you guys fully grasped the magnitude of what you achieved? I mean, not only the first time in 35 years, but to be 54 for 8 before lunch on the first day and come back and win by over 100 runs. Have you guys fully sat down and really understood what you've done?
I I don't think any of us have as yet. Myself personally haven't realized the accomplishment and the position that we were in to come, as you said, and win that game in that manner. I don't think myself or even the team have realized what we have really, really, really done. The character that we have showed, the guts, the fight. So for now, I think we're just enjoying the win, but I guess probably on our flight or we have time to sit at home and relax and analyze what happened. I think it would then sink in to us and realize that we have done something very, very outstanding.
But that's putting it mildly, something very, very outstanding. I'll give you this though. When we spoke after the first test, you did warn me that things would be different, that you are getting adjusted, you're starting to understand the conditions and so on, and you were actually promising. You didn't promise a win. You didn't go that far. Neither
Mm.
did you promise a game that would go beyond 3 days, but you did promise that it would be a much better contest. And from the West Indian perspective, it certainly was.
Yes, definitely. I could have feel it throughout the camp, throughout the dressing room, and the aura from the team. Because it wasn't a negative aura; it was a positive aura. Like you could feel like the belief, and the guys were saying they understand that they're ready. The challenge is there, and they're ready for the challenge. No one seemed like they wanted to back away from the challenge. Everyone wanted the game to start to prove a point. Because I know a lot of what was said about us after we lost the first test, but it didn't get the team down. The team still continued to believe, and the hunger to win the second test was there. Could have felt it in the dressing room. So that's why when we spoke, I told you it's going to be a lot different in second test.
Well, you said a lot was said about the team after the first test. A lot has been said about this team. A lot has been said about this team all the time. I mean, the reality is that it's a team that is a developing team, a team that has
Yeah.
not yet reached any lofty heights, and that's the reality. And I think some of us believe that you will get to those lofty heights by a change of captaincy or by bringing in one player for another player and things of that nature. Yes, team selection is always going to be important. But from a strategic point of view, we seem to love to punish people, and there's always a lot of talk about dropping this body and all that sort of thing. So I get where you're coming from, and I do agree with you that you've got to not take on those things. But basically, what happened? Talk us through it if you can. What basically happened between the first test and the second test that made a difference? I get it that the confidence was there, the desire to want to do well, to want to make up for a bad showing in the first test. I understand that. But were there specific things strategically that you guys did between the two test matches?
Um, First of all, we had a good discussion as a team. Craig and the coach, even the manager got involved and gave us a very important speech. So you could feel that everyone was buying into what everyone was saying. But from the practice sessions, I could see the fellas putting their head down and trusting their game plans and working on things that they want to do in the game. And there was a lot of questions was asked, and they're in the meeting, so they decided that they're going to try in the practice. And I could see people willing to learn, and I think that's the major difference. The way how we took the information from the first game, and it wasn't like the team wasn't defensive. We had an open mind and we accept what we need to do to improve. And it went into the practice sessions, and just the speeches that the captain gave us and the manager was very important as well.
Were there others from the outside who had a chat with you guys? There was something said during the television broadcast about Ian Bishop having a couple of words with you guys. Is there any truth in that?
Well, Bish always talked to the guys on the morning. He didn't speak to the team, but he probably spoke to certain individuals. As one individual he spoke to personally, but I don't. He didn't speak to the team directly. But I know every morning he speak to different individuals, or different individuals will go to him and have conversations.
So how is that type of thing received by players though?
That's very good, because when you could have someone sharing knowledge and information to you, it could be very useful. So he's seen it from the commentary box, so he could help us by giving us information that you could use in the game. So it's very beneficial.
Okay. So that speaks to some of the specific things that you guys would have done. But if we can be even more general, using this test series as an example, that wouldn't be a problem. But there's been some curiosity. How do you guys actually prepare for a test series, though? I mean, you know you're going to Pakistan. You know you're in the team. What happens next?
Well, you mean while we in Pakistan or
Well,
before you get back?
starting with before you leave the Caribbean, whenever that preparation period starts.
Well, it a lot is put upon the individual to put in their work at home. So all the hard work happen before you leave to go to Pakistan. So therefore, you put in your work, you get what you need while you're at home, so that when you get on tour now, it's just about maintenance and topping up and not overworking yourself. So you go well for me, for example, while I'm in Barbados, I go 90%. So I push hard, or we even say 100% to get everything I need to prepare myself for the tour. Then when I get on the tour now, it's all about maintenance. So you don't want to overwork yourself. You don't want to go too hard. It's about finding the right balance on tour and doing what you need to maintain and perform at that level.
I would imagine if you are a regular in the team, it should be fairly easy to balance things. You know you're going to be playing, you know when you're not going to be playing, and therefore you can pace yourself. But
Yeah.
that's not necessarily so for everybody. So what happens to the guys who are not in the final 11, especially on these short tours where there are very few, if any, warm-up matches? How do the guys who are not in the team, how do they deal with things?
Well, they still have the opportunity to do the training, so they get the opportunity to do the nets during the breaks. Also, you have your strength and conditioning, so they're still working hard. They're still putting in their work during the series. So it's not a case that they're just there sitting on the bench not doing anything. They're still preparing the game because there will be tours after. For example, there's first class coming up as well, so the guys still want to be ready for that challenge coming ahead.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that first class cricket that's coming up in a minute. But before that, I mean, those of us who've been watching you and who've been watching West Indies cricket and who are pretty familiar with what we get and what we can expect from the players, um, you seem to confuse virtually the Pakistanis quite a bit with that ball that was sliding onto them, and it really made a massive difference. Have you changed the way in which you deliver that ball?
Um, Over a period of time, as a spinner, you mature and you get more crafty and you learn a lot more and you improve. So over the years, from watching Ryan Hines ball, one thing I always admire, he has a very, very, very good slow arm ball. And I always wanted to be able to do that. Then I also heard about Weston Reed bowling a ball that was very slow and skipping off the wicket. So from the time I started my career till now, that's a ball I wanted to master. That I don't need to bowl the ball quicker to get it arm. I could bowl the same pace and get the ball arm. But as I said, it's about how you release the ball. So when you want to spin the ball, you open your wrist, same pace. And then when you want to arm the ball, you close your wrist so that you get the angle and the slide into the right-hander if you're bowling to a right-hander.
Okay. You used to bowl almost exclusively from wide of the crease, and we've noticed now that you tend to vary that to a large extent. And I'm wondering if that's to do with Jomel Warrican thinking about his game and making adjustments, or if that has come from discussions or working with a coach or something of that nature, someone of that nature.
Yeah, it was a discussion when I was younger for sure that a ball wide or sometimes they even say ball too wide at the bowling crease. So when the wicket is good, it gives myself less chance for the ball to turn or even trouble the batsman. So having discussion with Ryan Hines at time, um, he he helped me with that. But also I was having a great chat with Haraf about my alignment. I remember that was in about 2017, 2018. And he guided me in terms of it's very important to be able to balance in terms of bowling wide and bowling closer to the crease. So that's something I took on board and continued working on it. So from there now, it was just a matter of continue pushing, and because it was very uncomfortable at first, very very uncomfortable. But I continued doing it over and over and over until I got the hang of it, and it became very very natural. I could vary as much as I want now.
Tell us though, are there some people who maybe don't fully understand how it is that competitors can sit and discuss common elements of the game and share information that, well, in the case of people like Hiraf and others who you've consulted with, information that you can use against their country?
Well, as a player, there is something called when you finish, you become a coach. So as a coach, you always want to share knowledge and try to help anyone, no matter the opposition or where they're from. That's the beauty of being a coach. So I
But
guess
sometimes you guys do this with current players as well. I think you did it with Jadeja some years ago, and you were both
yeah,
still playing.
yeah, that's true as well. And like I find in a position like that, like two oppositions playing, there's still something called friendship and wanting the best for someone else and seeing them improve. And you as a person, if you could help anyone improve, no matter your opposition or not, you'll feel good as a human being. So when I was talking to Jadeja, it was so natural for him to help me and talk to me. And even when they playing for South cricket and they speaking to someone from Windwards or Trinidad or whichever country, and they share my knowledge, I don't see them as the opposition. I see them as me. They're coming to me for help, and they share my knowledge to help them.
Okay, and while we're on the subject, I did promise to address the issue of the upcoming championship. You are pretty much on a high, I would imagine, and in your case, probably the greatest high because man of the series. Wow. And if I'm not mistaken, you top the batting averages. I mean, come on, Jomel, you must have had dreams and all sorts of things as a young man, even as an international cricketer. Have you ever visualized or imagined that you would top the batting averages in a test series?
Probably did it once already in Australia. I was averaging 65,
Uh-huh.
2015 into 2016, that
Okay.
series, couple years ago. But to do it again recently, I
Hmm.
didn't imagine it happening again. I didn't
Yeah.
imagine it happening again. So that for me as an accomplishment, that shows that me working in the batting lab and putting in my work and believing in my batting has really paid off.
Well, you mentioned Ryan Hines a couple of times in relation to his left arm spin, but I think most people know Ryan Hines, certainly a very good bowler, but know him more for his batting. So it seems as though he's giving you some batting tips as well.
To be fair, we do speak about batting, but it's always about bowling most of the time. 90% of the time is about bowling
Mm.
because I enjoy watching Ryan bowl playing for Empire.
Uh-huh.
And that's someone I look up to as a junior when I was a junior player. And playing at the club and watching him show his craft.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy that. And then as I started playing national cricket more as well, and watching Haraf, these are two people that I idolize my bowling from.
Okay, very interesting. So you are on the way back home, and I imagine keen to play for Barbados. I was listening to the um, chief selector last week on another forum, and he said something about they were discussing who may or may not be available moving forward. And he made a comment something like this. He said something like, "I would take a tidal wave to start working from playing." And I thought that was interesting because that was along the same theme that we were talking about when we chatted after the first test. So we take it then that working, your name is penciling already for the second game.
Yes, definitely. As I told you already, I don't miss any type of cricket. And furthermore, I think coming back Friday, I may play for basketball on Saturday in BCF.
Okay, get yourself ready then for the upcoming games. Fair
Yes.
enough. Okay, so that's interesting. But so as I said, you're coming down from a high, and you're coming back to regional cricket now, where you're going to be going out there and locking horns with some of the same guys you were celebrating with or have been celebrating with over the last couple of days. How do you make that transition to come down, if you will, to, let's face it, a lower level? Test cricket is the ultimate, and then of course there's first class cricket and notch below that.
But it's just about maintaining your standards. You don't drop your standard because of the level. So if you have a certain standard and you want to maintain it, you got to keep pushing and keeping your standards at a certain level. And you got to take pride in your performances as well. So therefore, if you come into a lower standard, that means you should be dominating even more. So that's how I see it.
Actually, it's interesting you say that because now we know the situation in terms of the conditions that you face in Milton. Those are unique situations. You don't find too many conditions like that, and certainly in the Caribbean, I don't think maybe the closest type might be Guyana, maybe Trinidad, but I think you would agree probably not to that great extent. So, what do you think? You think that there's going to be a lot of transfer from what you did there, what you experienced there, and your performance there? To what extent do you think that would impact your potency, let's say, moving forward?
It goes back to condition. You just assess the conditions, and if the condition require you to bowl slower or quicker, you do it as quick as possible.
So, any particular objectives you'll be setting for yourself in the regional competition?
Um, my first step is to pass Ben, who has the most wickets for Barbados. So I just need 3 more wickets to pass him. So that's my first objective. Secondly, just continue performing well, but most of all, I really want us to win the cup this year as a team. I really want us to tick that box because I know last year we came very, very close and we were very disappointed that we didn't do it. So that's my major goal this year to, one, as I said, pass Ben with the most successful Barbados, but two, get over that hurdle and winning the 4-day championship.
Okay. If we revisit just for a while the series in Pakistan, though, and the unique conditions, let's call them unique conditions. And after the second test, the Pakistani captain, he spoke in a number of interviews and he indicated that despite the loss, they would continue to prepare pitches similar to what you guys experienced. And he also made a point that out of the last 4 games with under those conditions, they won 3 and therefore there's no need to change. But what are your thoughts on conditions of that nature, on preparing pitches that are that treacherous, let's say for batsmen, so that you can exploit the home advantage?
Well, that's what we call home advantage. I have no problem with them doing that because, as I always say this, if you go to England and England playing against Pakistan, wickets are going to be extremely green. There'll be loads of grass on the wicket and no one complain. So I have a sympathy if wicket is flat or the wicket is very, very good for batting. No one complains either. But the moment the wicket is turning, it seems to be an issue in world cricket. So it's a case that guys are not confident batting spin or comfortable with the wicket turning from day one. I don't understand. It's something that I sit down and think about all the time. And Rohit Sharma made a very, very important point. When the wicket is very green, as I said from before, there's no complaints. If a team scores 700 runs, there's no complaint but if the wicket is too flat. But if a team get bowled out from the spinners, if in day one or a session or just before lunch, it always seems to be major problems. So that's something I think we as spinners face, and it's funny, but it's just part of life. And I agree with the captain. If something is working for them in Pakistan, why change it?
Of course, there are those who feel that they may struggle when they come out of Pakistan and have to play against, on faster tracks.
Well, and that's where home advantage. You use your home advantage to your ability as much as possible. But then when you prepare now, if you know you're leaving to go in certain conditions, that way preparation is very important. So you prepare for that before you get there.
Well, no one can accuse you of being one-sided because you are a spinner and benefited from those conditions because you also got runs in those conditions. So I guess you're the ideal person really to put that case where that is concerned. No, we get back to preparation. I mean, you touched on it again. We touched on it earlier. Is there anything that you believe could probably be done? It may not be done now because or it may not be practical. There might be financial issues. I don't know. How much really can be done even before you land in the particular country that you can do to prepare for the type of pitches that you expect? So I don't think it was a shocker that the pitches were turning and turning from the first day. Is there anything really that can be done, let's say, while you're in the Caribbean or between the Caribbean and getting to Pakistan that can assist with the preparation? Or is it just a matter of getting there and then trying to adjust?
No, I think you could prepare for the conditions before you leave home. So whether you have a camp, let's say a 10-day camp or 15-day camp. So let's say you're going to Australia, you get the groundsman to prepare hard green decks so that you get accustomed to seeing grass on the wicket and with extra bunks. And then if we're going to a place like Pakistan, you get the grounds staff to produce spinning tracks and you prepare for 15 days before you leave. I think having camps to prepare you for the conditions is very, very important.
But given the importance of the type of soil that exists and things of that nature, how easy is it, do you think, to prepare those type of pitches for practice purposes in the Caribbean?
No, I think you got to utilize your stadiums. So, for example, if I know you're going to Australia, I will hold a camp in St. Lucia where the ball is bouncing at your head and is quicker than the average tracks in the Caribbean. which is probably closest thing we have to Australian soil. Then, for example, if you're going to Pakistan, take the team to Dominica, where it's turning from day one and square. So you can prepare yourself for a camp there, knowing that when you get to Pakistan, spinning traps will not surprise you. So you have ways of use utilizing our conditions. And then, for example, you're going to England, you say, well, you could use same St. Lucia, Barbados, and you probably just use a lot of scratch up balls to get accustomed to the swings, start to the swing, and move forward from there.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Obviously, something that you've given some thought to. What do you think that has been done a bit more?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Okay, that might be a cost factor or something of that nature. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah,
Yeah, but well, as usual, this you get quite a lot of insight talking to Jomel Warrican, and I guess a Jomel Warrican who was probably tired from probably doing so little over the last couple of days because you were prepared for a 5-day test, or at least a 5-day test was scheduled, I should say, and you
yeah.
only needed 3 days. So how's it been since then, apart from the celebrations?
Being very chill.
Tiringly quiet, I would think.
Yeah, it been very, very. It has been very chilled. Just sitting back and reflecting about the journey, not just on tour. Before I got here, the preparation, the plan that I put into it. Before I got here, then when I got here, talking to Nikita Miller, who's really contribute a lot. Not just while I'm here as well. While I'm in the Caribbean, we're having conversation on WhatsApp as well, discussing the cricket. But while I was here, we had some extremely good discussion. So I even messaged him today and said, listen, Nikita, the discussions that we've had before a ball was bowled in Pakistan has been so amazing. And when we start practicing and the discussion continue going on and on through every practice session, we sit down, we talk, we probably voice note each other, has been so impactful. So for me, just sitting back and seeing the process from before I left Barbados to when I got to Pakistan, that 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 made up my day to day. A lot of reflection of the journey to where the success have happened and where I'm at right now.
And I would think that you're optimistic that there's a lot more for you. I know the captain in his interview said something to the effect that something about being here to stay. So I guess you're optimistic that maybe we may earn a more regular spot in the side.
But that's the plan, you know. The last 10 years have been a roller coaster for me, and I just knew I needed this big game to cement myself and ensure the panel or whoever is the panel that I'm here to stay at this level and I want to continue playing for West Indies and given a proper run and opportunity. I always say to you, I know I can perform at this level. It's just a matter of giving myself or given the opportunity to do it more often than not. But the most important, consistent, being able to do it consistently over a period of time.
Jamel, I don't know how you feel about this, but already the discussions have started in the cricket chats, which I hope you keep very far from, at least while you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Jomel Warrican, is there a white ball somewhere on the horizon?
I was if it, I have one simple theory again. If you could bowl in Test cricket, you could definitely bowl in white ball cricket because in Test cricket you have to be consistent. You have to be able to control the game because there's more men around the bat. There's more aggressive fields. Well, white ball cricket is a skill that you're looking to contain with defensive fields. So I always feel like I could impact playing white ball cricket, and I would love to play white ball cricket because I know I have the capability and the skills to do it as well. But
Okay.
as I said, one step at a time. If the opportunity do present itself, I would love to grab it at both hands.
Well, we know Jomel Warrican to be a guy who, when he does something, he's all in, he's committed to it. So even if that opportunity comes around, I would imagine that West Indies cricket would always be your focus.
Definitely. I West Indies have given me everything they have so far, and I'm very grateful for that. So they'll always be my number one choice.
Just before you go, though, maybe on a more lighthearted measure, so to speak, Saji Khan, that name sounds familiar to you?
Yes.
What was all that about? You guys seem to build up some sort of rivalry there. And in the end, you know, the saying, he who laughs best. And you
Yeah.
certainly had a big laugh on the final day, what turned out to be the final day. Tell us what that was all about.
So I go further back into the past. 2022, I went England and played for a club named Walsden. Then in 2023, he went and played for my club in Walsden. So it was funny enough. We was against each other now, and it was funny. So every time he got a wicket, he would give the usual celebration, his leg up and tapping it and everything. So the first test, I hit him for 1 6 and a couple fours, and I told him, "You don't think you have a chance to get me out this series?" And then from there he was at me. Come on, let me see you. And then I got him out. It wasn't a celebration by me. Then second test came. Um, I batted well again, hit him for a couple of sixes again and a four, and then he didn't get me out again. So the second innings now, he bowled a ball. First ball I missed from him in the entire series. And he had the audacity to do this to me. And
What does that mean for those who?
I think you can't see the ball, or is the
Right,
ball in
right.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just had a laugh, and it was trending all over social media. It was on TikTok, it was on Instagram, it was on Facebook, it was your talk of it. It was just trending all over. And I
Uh-huh.
said, no way could get the better of me. No way. So I made it my mission to go sleep, think about it. And once I did get him out, he's gonna get that right back at him and his own celebration as well. That's the story there.
So a battle within a battle, so to speak. So
Yeah.
when he played for your club, you were still with the club at that point, or you just played one season and then
I just played 1 season,
Okay.
and then he played the next season.
Okay. All that goes to make for me, you know, good viewership and makes it exciting because it's not everyone who watches a cricket match who is only concerned with the heavy technical aspects. That aspect of it, the entertainment value, the rivalry between the players, all that adds to it. And I think you guys really played that out quite well.
Yeah. That was good entertainment. That was very, very good entertainment there.
Okay. Well, Jamal, it has really been a pleasure talking to you as usual. Looking forward to your return and um, representing Barbados in the regional competition. I think the next international red ball, um, what should I say, fixture, when the Aussies come late in the year.
Yes, they're coming in June, so that that's my next step in terms of the national cricket, preparing for that as well. So, but as I said, my first focus is playing for Barbados, doing well, passing Ben for the most wickets for Barbados, because for me that's the goal I set out as a junior or youngster, now get into the team. So that's something we're really looking forward to. Then, as I said, we winning the cup, the championship this year.
That's because of the immense respect you have for Benton as a left arm spinner.
Yes, that's he was the one that led the way for me as a spinner going forward in international cricket as well. Yes, he has a very good regional um, stats or performance, but when he played for West Indies, he did well. So I always tell myself, if anyone I want to set my standards to, it'll be Sulman Ben. So it'll be passing him in terms of wickets in Test cricket, then wickets for Barbados. That's always my goal and my standard I set for myself going forward.
Jamel, all the best in achieving those goals, and of course, especially the goal of helping Barbados win the regional competition. Thanks again. Congratulations once more to you and the team.
Thank you very much.